You're sitting in a job interview. You smile, nod, and say all the right things. But your foot bounces nervously under the table, and the interviewer notices. Within seconds, they've made a judgment about you that has nothing to do with your words. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Up to 93% of how people perceive your emotional state isn't determined by what you actually say. It's determined by how you look, how you sound, and what your body is doing. Welcome to the fascinating world of nonverbal communication. In this video, we're going to explore the psychology of body language, and more importantly, how understanding it can literally change your life. We'll uncover research from Harvard scientists, FBI interrogators, and cross-cultural psychologists who've spent decades cracking the code of what your body reveals about your mind. By the end, you'll never look at a handshake, a facial expression, or a posture the same way again. Because the truth is, your body is constantly betraying or confirming everything you're trying to communicate. Let's start with something that might sound impossible. When your words and your body language conflict, people believe your body 93% of the time. This isn't just folklore. This finding comes from decades of communication research by psychologist Albert Mehrabian, whose work in the 1960s fundamentally changed how we understand human interaction. He discovered that emotional meaning in communication breaks down into three components: words 7%, tone of voice 38%, and facial expressions plus body language 55%. But here's the plot twist. When those components contradict each other, the nonverbal elements completely dominate. Think about this real scenario. Someone tells you "I'm fine" while their shoulders are hunched, their eyes are looking down, and their voice is flat. You don't believe them, right? You immediately sense something's wrong. Your brain isn't consciously doing math. It's detecting the mismatch. Mehrabian's research explains why. Your brain evolved to read faces and bodies as survival mechanisms. If a tribe member said, "I trust you," while slowly backing toward the cave exit, you'd better believe the body. This ancient circuitry still runs the show in modern conversations. The implications are staggering. This means you can't lie with your body. You can try, but you'll fail, at least against someone paying attention. Lawyers know this. Therapists know this. Poker players definitely know this. When your authentic emotional state conflicts with your words, your face, your tone, and your posture will leak the truth. This is why politicians often seem inauthentic even when they're technically saying reasonable things. Their body language is constantly broadcasting doubt, defensiveness, or discomfort. The 93% rule explains why we often don't trust people. Not because of their words, but because their bodies are telling a different story. Here's what makes this even more powerful. You don't have to consciously interpret body language to be affected by it. Your brain processes nonverbal cues in milliseconds, often before you're consciously aware of what you've seen. Researchers have shown that people form judgments about others in under a second, and those snap judgments are heavily influenced by posture, facial expression, and eye contact. So when you walk into that interview or that first date, the outcome is already being decided before you open your mouth. Your body language is literally setting the stage for how your words will be received. Now here's something mind-blowing. Your face speaks a language older than words. In the 1970s, psychologist Paul Ekman conducted a series of groundbreaking cross-cultural studies that revealed 7 universal facial expressions recognized identically across every human culture he studied: happiness, sadness, anger, fear, surprise, contempt, and disgust. These emotions look the same whether you're a Wall Street banker in Manhattan or a member of an isolated tribe in Papua New Guinea who's never seen a photograph or television. This isn't learned behavior. This is hardwired into human neurology. Think about what this means. Your face is a biological broadcast system that transcends culture, language, and geography. When you see someone's face light up with genuine joy, you recognize it instantly. Not because you learned what happiness looks like, but because your mirror neurons fire in response to their expression. Ekman called authentic emotional expressions microexpressions, fleeting facial movements that last only a fraction of a second. These microexpressions are involuntary. You can't suppress them. Even the best actors struggle to fake them convincingly. This is why a genuine smile, which involves the muscles around your eyes, looks completely different from a fake social smile, which only involves your mouth. Ekman's work created an entire field of study. FBI agents, airport security personnel, and interrogators now use microexpression training to detect deception. When someone claims they didn't steal something while a flash of contempt crosses their face, trained observers catch it. When someone says they're happy about your promotion, but a brief flicker of anger appears, you see it. The scary part? Most people miss these signals entirely. They're hidden in the noise of everyday interaction. But if you train yourself to watch for them, you become exponentially better at detecting when someone is lying or hiding their true feelings. This also explains why video calls feel less intimate than in-person conversations. On a screen, you lose the subtle nuances of facial expressions. You miss the micro-expressions. The biological bandwidth of connection is reduced. You get the words and maybe a blurry version of the face, but you lose the rich emotional texture that comes from seeing someone's full range of micro-expressions. This is why people report feeling more exhausted after video meetings than in-person ones. Your brain is working overtime to fill in the gaps, to interpret emotion from incomplete data. The face is the primary instrument of emotional communication, and when you compromise that signal, you compromise connection itself. Here's where things get genuinely weird, in the best way possible. Your body doesn't just express your emotions. Your body can create your emotions. This is the revolutionary finding from Amy Cuddy's research at Harvard, which fundamentally challenged the idea that emotions drive behavior. Cuddy discovered that if you hold a power pose, standing with your arms wide, your chest open, legs shoulder-width apart, for just 2 minutes, your body chemistry changes. Testosterone, the confidence hormone, increases by 20%. Cortisol, the stress hormone, decreases by 25%. Your actual physiology shifts, and with it, how you feel and how others perceive you. Think about what this means. Before that nerve-wracking presentation, you could spend 2 minutes in a bathroom stall standing like Wonder Woman, and your body would literally become more confident. Your hormones would shift. Your brain chemistry would change. You'd walk out feeling more assured, speaking more assertively, making better eye contact. And here's the thing, this isn't placebo. These are measurable changes in testosterone and cortisol levels. Your body is literally rewiring your mind through posture. This is why confident people stand tall and take up space, while anxious people hunch and contract. The posture creates the confidence, not just the other way around. The second part of Cuddy's research is equally stunning. Others perceive you differently based on your posture. When you hold a power pose, people rate you as more competent, more trustworthy, and more leader-like. Your actual words and competence don't change. Only your posture changes. But that single change in nonverbal communication alters how people evaluate you. This has massive implications. It means that confidence is partially performative. You can fake it until you become it. You can adopt a power pose until your hormones align with that pose. Then your behavior, your presence, and your actual performance improve. It's a feedback loop that starts with your body. Now, let's talk about the feet, arguably the most honest part of your entire body. FBI interrogator and body language expert Joe Navarro has spent decades studying how people reveal deception, and he's documented something fascinating. While people obsessively control their facial expressions, their feet are unconsciously honest. When someone wants to leave a conversation, their feet point toward the exit. When they're genuinely happy, their feet bounce and tap. When they're lying, their feet often betray restlessness or frozen stillness. Navarro has used foot analysis to help crack criminal cases. The feet are the last line of defense because people simply don't think about them. This reveals something profound about human psychology. We're excellent at controlling our faces and our words, but we're terrible at controlling our entire body. Our unconscious mind leaks information through our feet, our hand placement, our postural shift. This is why sitting across from someone during a difficult conversation is so revealing. Their feet might be pointing away from you while their face smiles. Their hands might be clenched while their voice stays calm. These contradictions tell the real story. Navarro's insight teaches us that if you want to know what someone truly thinks or feels, stop looking at their face and start looking at their feet. Now that you understand the science, let's get practical. Here's exactly how to use this knowledge to change your life, starting today. First, become conscious of your own body language. Before any high-stakes interaction, a job interview, a difficult conversation, a first date, spend 2 minutes in a power pose. Stand tall, feet shoulder-width apart, hands on hips or arms raised. Feel the shift. Let your body chemistry change. Walk in more confident because your hormones have literally prepared you for it. This isn't magical thinking. This is applied neuroscience. You're using your body to prime your mind. Second, become a decoder of other people's body language. Start small. Watch conversations without sound. Notice when someone's words contradict their posture or facial expression. Practice spotting the mismatch. When someone says they're happy, but their shoulders are tense, note it. When someone claims they're interested, but their feet point toward the door, register it. You don't need to confront them or call out the contradiction. Just become aware. Over time, you'll develop an intuition for when someone's being authentic versus when they're performing. This skill will transform your relationships, your professional interactions, and your ability to navigate social situations. Third, align your body language with your message. If you're telling someone you're committed to them or to a project, make sure your body broadcasts that. Make eye contact. Lean slightly forward. Open your chest. Keep your hands visible. These small adjustments make you more persuasive and more believable. Not because you're being deceptive, but because you're authentically expressing your message through your entire body. The research shows that when your nonverbal communication aligns with your words, people are more convinced. You become more convincing to others because you're convincing yourself first through your own posture. Fourth, remember that your face leaks micro-expressions. You can't completely hide what you truly feel, and frankly, you shouldn't try. The most powerful communicators aren't the best liars. They're the most authentic. When you stop trying to fake emotions and instead let your genuine feelings show appropriately, your face becomes more trustworthy. People sense authenticity. They respond to it. You don't need to mask your emotions perfectly. You need to be genuine. Let your real joy show when you're happy. Let your genuine concern show when you're worried. These authentic micro-expressions are what build trust and deepen connections. Finally, pay attention to feet, your own and others. If you're nervous, you might not realize your foot is bouncing or your leg is shaking. Becoming aware of this can help you calm your nervous system by physically grounding your lower body. And when you're reading others, check the feet. They're the honest witnesses. Someone might tell you they're comfortable in a situation while their feet point toward the exit, revealing that they actually want to leave. The feet don't lie, so train yourself to notice them. This one detail will make you exponentially more perceptive in any social or professional context. Your body is constantly broadcasting your true self to others and to yourself. Every posture shapes your hormones. Every facial expression shapes how others perceive you. Every movement of your feet reveals what you truly want. You now have access to one of the most powerful secrets of human psychology, Nonverbal communication isn't something that happens to you. It's something you can master, control, and leverage to become more confident, more persuasive, and more authentic. The science is clear. The applications are limitless. If you found this exploration of body language and human behavior fascinating, please subscribe to this channel for weekly videos that decode the psychology behind how you think, feel, and connect with others. Every week, we dive deeper into the invisible forces that shape your behavior and relationships. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an insight that could change how you see yourself and the world. Your body is speaking. Now you know how to listen.